What is going on, guys? Welcome back again to Nick's Picks. We're on week 3, and as always, I am joined with my good friend Ben.
Hello.
And like I said, it is week 3, so I am currently up 23-20, which is interesting because this past week, me and Ben have finally decided to make a bet. So if you don't know what this is here, I'll put it up on the screen. This is a ghost pepper. It is not the hottest pepper in the world, but it's up there. It's one of the hottest peppers in the world, and I'll actually put the Scoville unit on the bottom too because I don't currently know that. But whoever ends up having the least amount of points before the Super Bowl, we'll take this all the way up to the conference championship games, and then for our Super Bowl special episode, the loser of the season will have to eat a ghost pepper or the ghost pepper sauce that I currently have. So things get a little interesting. Neither of us particularly love spicy foods. I can handle it all right, but like I don't
there's me,
prefer
and
it.
I just regret making this decision. Like, part of me was like, yeah, that's a great idea. And as soon as we were done making that, I looked at my roommate, and he gave me a face of like, you are going to die.
Here we go, week 3. We're gonna start with the Thursday night game, which is between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. One of the
Duval.
probably the one game this week that I will definitely not be watching because it does not look all that interesting. But the Jacksonville Jaguars have been an interesting team to start the season. They're not tanking like everybody thought they would. And I actually have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game 23-14. I don't think the Dolphins will start Tua. I don't think they're going to do it at all this season. So you're stuck with Ryan Fitzpatrick pretty much the entire season. And Gardner Minshew's actually playing pretty well, and this whole team is actually playing pretty well. So I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars 23-14 over the Miami Dolphins.
I mean, we both agree that Jacksonville's going to win. I mean, I don't think Miami did surprise me last week, and we'll get to that when it comes to Buffalo, my Buffalo pick.
So spoiler alert, everybody, Ben will not be picking Buffalo this week.
I didn't say that. I just said it's going to be a surprise. And no matter what, though, I still got Jacksonville winning. I actually got in a little bit closer one. I got them winning 26-20, kind of an odd score. But at the end of the day, Gardner Minshew, if we're just going like at the quarterback-wise, because I think overall both teams are not great, but quarterback-wise, I'd rather have Minshew than Fitzpatrick. Not even just age-wise, because, well, he's just better. Just objectively.
All right, so the San Francisco 49ers, or the San Francisco Hospital team, will be going up against the New York Giants this week. And even with the fact that they have literally everybody and their mothers injured, I can't pick the Giants a third week in a row. We lost Barkley.
Thank the Lord.
We couldn't beat the Chicago
Finally,
Bears.
some consistency.
I can't do it. I will make it a close game just because of all the injuries, but
God damn it, of course you would.
I could pick the Bears over the Falcons, after you. All right, hang on, hold up. We are stopping the predictions right here for 10 seconds to talk about the fact that the Atlanta Falcons absolutely just quit against the Dallas Cowboys. Can we? All right, I can't roll the clip. Hey, no, hold on. I can't roll the clip because of YouTube, but I want everybody to go watch the onside kick that occurred between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons, where Atlanta literally just stood there and watch the ball roll 10 yards and then let the Cowboys jump on it first. You want to make fun of the Giants all you want. Your team, dude.
I wouldn't even care if we somehow still won the game after that point. I've never seen a team just not know how to play football.
Well, all right. Anyways, back to the 49ers Giants.
Back to the
game.
Niners.
I do have the Niners winning this one. I do have them winning 28-24 over the Giants. But I swear to God, I hear one more Giants thing out of you. You are getting that clip sent on a 4-hour loop of every Atlanta Falcons player just watching that onside kick go by.
Two things. One, you're not going to watch that 4-hour clip.
Oh, you're going to watch all 4 hours of it.
Yeah, no. Second, let's put it this way. The Niners are basically rolling out their JV team, and they did it against the Jets and won like 30-17. The Giants are no better. They lost their whole offense with Saquon Barkley. Yeah, you did get Devontae Freeman, which I think he will actually pick up some of that offense in the rushing game. I do think that. I thought he was very underrated, and I think he can pick it up. But it's still the Niners. I got them winning 30-14 just because even the Giants lost their whole offense with Saquon.
So I don't feel right about picking Atlanta after what happened last week. And Chicago's 2-0, and they're surprising the hell out of a lot of people. But I'm going to pick Atlanta here. This is their last chance for me. I do think they have talent on this team. They're just really stupid when it comes to the fourth quarter. I think they lose all their brain cells as soon as that fourth quarter hits. But I think they'll just barely edge this one out against the Bears. I have the Falcons winning 21-20 over the Chicago Bears.
We both have it in a close game. Well, I mean, yours is a little closer. I have it still as a one-score game. I'm with you. I'm making this right now. If Atlanta loses to Chicago, I'm not picking them the rest of the season. They could play Jacksonville, and I'll still have Jacksonville win. I don't think they do, but like they could play against a Pop Warner team, and I'll still have the Pop Warner team win because we talked about it before. They lost brain cells. I don't know what happened. I watch it every single time, and I don't know what happened. But I still got them winning 30-24 over Chicago because I do think at the end of the day, the talent that Atlanta has overall is better than Chicago, other than Chicago's defense. Like, Chicago's defense is amazing. They also still have Trubisky as their quarterback. I don't know how they're 2-0, honestly, with Trubisky as their quarterback. I don't. But I also think this is Atlanta's last chance to prove to anyone that they're, well, a football team.
Well, to be fair for Chicago, they did beat the Lions and the Giants, so it's a subpar 2-0, but it's 2-0 nonetheless. All right, Buffalo Bills hosting the Los Angeles Rams. Now, before Ben goes off on his I hate Buffalo tangent, I'm going to go ahead and say Buffalo is going to win this game. It's going to be a close one, and it's going to be a shootout, but I do think Buffalo gets this win solely for the fact that I think their defense is slightly better than LA's. I would give the edge to Jared Goff over Josh Allen. I'll kind of agree with you there. But defensively, I do think Buffalo has the slight edge here. So I do think Buffalo ends up winning this game 35-30 over the Los Angeles Rams. But I could see this one going either way. So I don't want to make any too bold predictions on this one. It's going to be a close one.
Now, normally I did say I would believe in Josh Allen. I still don't to this extent because it was Miami and New York, but he definitely did prove something to me, is that he is tough as nails. When he freaking trucked like two Dolphins defenders, I'm like, okay, that guy loves football. Like, you can tell when people love football, and then they love football when they're willing to lay their body out. But at the end of the day, I do think the Rams are it's literally like a hair better than them. And it's not because, like I do think Buffalo will end up making the playoffs and the Rams won't, but I think just early on, I think the Rams are better, but not by much. I think it's going to be 28-26, the Rams will win this one. Yeah, Stephon Diggs is better than all the Rams receivers, but the Rams number 2 being whether you want to say it's Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods is way better than the Bills number 2, which I don't even know who that person's name is, which says a lot. And even their tight end is pretty solid too.
The Cleveland Browns. I don't believe in them. I don't think I don't like Baker Mayfield. I didn't like Odell a lot when he was on the Giants. I mean, I liked him as a player, but like as a person, he's bratty, he's whiny. Like, I don't like him. But they do play the Washington football team this week, and look, Washington beat Philly, sure. Philly is not a good team this year, so I don't give that too much of a edge. They got their butts handed to them by Arizona. Washington still has a lot to figure out, and I mean a lot. And Cleveland is a team that has potential. They still have some stuff to figure out, but not nearly as much as Washington. Cleveland's a much better team than Washington. I hate to admit it, but they are. I'm going to go ahead and give Cleveland the 28-17 victory here over the Washington football team. Just Washington's got way too much to figure out.
See, I'm with you with Washington having a lot to figure out, but I also think Cleveland has a lot to figure out. I don't know what is with this team. I don't really think that they're that much better than Washington. I have them winning 20-18, but that's only because I had to pick a winner. So like I think Cleveland will win, but like at the same time, both teams one of these teams has to figure out eventually. I think Cleveland will figure out before Washington, but it wouldn't surprise me if Washington did it before them.
All right, so if you told me at the beginning of the season that the Minnesota Vikings could potentially start 0-3 on the season, I mean, I wouldn't be like, no way, but like, I would be a little shocked. I do think the Vikings are a better team than they've been playing, but going up against the Tennessee Titans, who are already playing to the potential that I thought they were going to play at, I just see Tennessee as an overall better team. I mean, defensively, Minnesota has them. Like, Tennessee is not a very good defensive team, even with the addition of Clowney. But I'm sorry. Like, overall, I just think I don't know what is wrong with Minnesota. Other than the fact Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback, and I've said it from the start. But, like, I don't understand what their problem is and why they can't win the same that they've been doing the past 3 years. But, I mean, I got to go with Tennessee on this just based off of what I've seen out of Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. So I don't even think the Vikings get a touchdown this game. I think it's going to be 21-6 Tennessee over Minnesota.
I believe in Minnesota a little bit more than you, but not by much. I believe way more in Tennessee. I think they're, no pun intended, with Derrick Henry going to run away with the division how it looks so far. Yeah, they had a close game against Jacksonville, but I still think they're the class of the AFC South. But I do have them winning in a one-score game, 28-20. But I don't know what's going on with Minnesota. I thought they would be better than this. Yeah, they've been in some close games relatively, but they've gotten it close, and then they've just kind of just tapered off, but around the third quarter or whatever. They look competitive, and then they just stop trying. It almost seems like.
All right, the new and improved New England Patriots going up against the Las Vegas Raiders, who shocked the world last Monday night, knocking off the New Orleans Saints in a game that Drew Brees just really underperformed, but we'll get to that later. The Las Vegas Raiders have surprised me this season. Not a lot, because I did say in week 1 that both the Raiders and the Panthers, when they played each other, were sleeper teams. So the Raiders, they're not overly surprising me, but they are playing a little better than I thought they were going to. That being said, Cam Newton is somebody who has surprised me a lot more than probably most of the league. I did think it was going to take Cam Newton a little bit more time to figure out this offense. I did think he was going to clash a little with Bill Belichick just because they are two totally different people. But honestly, it has been working okay for New England so far. I do think this is going to be a tough game for them. I'm not 100% sure. This pick really could have gone either way. But I'm going to go ahead and say the Patriots win this one 27-21 over the Las Vegas Raiders.
So we're actually pretty close in our scores. I agree with you. I think New England, I agree with everything you said. I think New England is the better team than Las Vegas, and I finally said it right this time. I do think the Patriots are better than the Raiders. The Raiders are actually really surprising me because I thought they would be solid this season, but I didn't think they would be this competitive, especially against New Orleans on Monday night. But that being said, I have New England beating the Raiders 30-24 in a pretty close game. I think both these two teams are very good, but I think New England just is slightly better.
All right, the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Cincinnati Bengals this week, and this one doesn't feel like it needs to be talked about too much. Everybody has been saying for the last 3 years that Carson Wentz is an elite quarterback. He's top 5 in the league, all this. He hasn't done anything. I saw something today. I don't remember the exact record, so I'm probably going to get this wrong. But I think he's 7-15 against teams that are not Washington or New York.
Yep.
Those are the two worst teams in the division. Obviously, they should be beating them every time. And they're 7-15 against teams that are not them. Carson Wentz is he can't win the big games. I don't think I've ever seen Carson Wentz win the big game, a big primetime game or something like that. He just doesn't perform. That being said, they're playing Cincinnati this week. Not a big game. I think they'll be fine. I do have them winning 31-21 over the Bengals, but you all need to relax on Carson Wentz because he is not what you guys are saying he is. I don't think he'll be the Eagles quarterback in another 2 years.
Well, first off, I agree with you. I've really never been a fan of Carson Wentz. Not because I hate him. I don't hate him. I think he's a great guy. I think his talent. I think his talent is there. But at the end of the day, I just don't believe in him as a quarterback. His talent is arguably up there. But this might be an upset. I don't know if you want to count it as an upset. But I got the Bengals winning it 30-17 just because I don't think Carson Wentz is that good. I don't know why people are so high on him. Anyone that likes Carson Wentz, please explain to me why you think he's this great quarterback when in all reality, the reason you have a Super Bowl
without comparing him to Dak. Without comparing him to Dak, because that's the number one thing I hear out of Eagles fans.
Put it this way, Nick Foles has that Super Bowl ring, not Carson Wentz. Nick Foles got you that ring against New England.
All right, so I kind of mentioned it a little earlier with the Minnesota Vikings, how if you were to tell me they would start 0-3, I'd be a little shocked. Same goes for the Houston Texans. Now, with the Houston Texans, if you told me at the beginning of the season that they'd be 0-3, I'd say, well, they shouldn't have gotten rid of DeAndre Hopkins for, a Snickers bar. But I will say that Deshaun Watson needs some sort of help. I personally would love to see Deshaun Watson leave and go to the Giants, but probably not going to happen. So I hope the best for Deshaun Watson. I hope the Houston Texans give him something that's not just Brandon Cooks and David Johnson. But I believe in him. I think he's going to carry this team to win a few games this season. But they're going to start 0-3, at least in my predictions they're going to. I think the Steelers win this one 24-10 over the Houston Texans. Houston just needs something, like another key player. You can't have Deshaun do it all.
I have the Houston Texans beating the Steelers 28-24. Now, do I think Pittsburgh is a better team? Yes. I'm not even going to try and deny that. But I do think Deshaun Watson, the talent that he has, I don't think he can go 0-3. Do I think it might happen? Yes. But I also really think that eventually he's going to show how great of a young quarterback he is, and he's going to physically will his team to win. It might cause him to break his back because he's carrying the whole team basically, but I do think that he will pull a very close one against a very good Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
All right, not too much of a game to talk about with this one, so we are going to make this one super quick. I do have the Colts beating the Jets 24-13. Colts are an average team in the league. The Jets are one of the 5 worst teams in the league. So, easy one for me, Colts over the Jets 24-13.
This score is not really indicative of how high I am on the Colts. It's really more so how terrible the Jets are. Indy has just talent-wise a better team. Jonathan Taylor looks like a promising young running back, a promising rookie running back. I got the Colts winning this one 32-10. It's really an easy pick for me. The Jets are tanking hardcore.
So this is a team that surprised me last week. They lost, but they surprised me. They really kept up with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert, nothing to sleep on. They surprised me. And normally when a team surprises me like this, I give them the benefit of picking them the next week. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have the Los Angeles Chargers winning this game 28-20 over the Carolina Panthers, just because I think Justin Herbert is going to end up being one of the better rookies this season. And that's an underrated, nobody thought that was really going to happen. Nobody was picking Justin Herbert for Rookie of the Year. And I'm not. I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. But I do think he's going to be one of the top 5 candidates for Rookie of the Year, which is something I don't think a whole lot of people saw coming.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was watching that game, and I was generally shocked. I'm not saying that the Chargers are a bad team either. I was just shocked that they made it very, very competitive. I didn't think it was going to be competitive at all. I'm with you. I have the Chargers winning this one for really one reason only, and that's because Christian McCaffrey is out for, I think, a few weeks. I do have the Chargers winning this one 28-16. Purely by the fact that Chris McCaffrey is out. If Chris McCaffrey was in this game, I'd probably still have the Chargers, but it'd be a lot closer. But Chris McCaffrey is that offense. But we'll see what happens with this Carolina offense now that their focal point is gone for a few weeks now.
Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got their first win last week. They go up against the Denver Broncos in their Week 3 matchup. Look, Denver's one of those teams I just don't know what to think. You lost Von Miller for the year, so your defense is obviously going to be hurting a little bit. Denver's just one of those middle-of-the-pack teams. They're going to have the 14th or 15th pick next season. I don't know what to make of Denver. I don't know how close they are to be a contender or how close they are to being a tanking team. I feel like they are perfectly in the middle there. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, they're a contender with all the talent that they have on their team. So I do have to give them the edge in this game. I'm going to give them a 27-17 victory over the Denver Broncos.
Wow, wait to hear my score. But first off, I agree with you. Tampa is just far better talent-wise. I think Drew Lock is still hurt, but I could be wrong on that. Either way, the Broncos are in purgatory, it seems like NFL purgatory. They're not a tanking team, but they're also not a contender, and even in their own division. I just don't think they have enough to compete. I got Tampa winning, get this, 28-17. Like, that is actually kind of funny how we were pretty close on score. Which would be even funnier if one of us gets it over the other when it comes to this game. But I'm with you. I think Tampa is far better. Their talent, the talent they have on that roster is just, it's leaps and bounds ahead of Denver.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't tell by the Giants tangent that we had at the beginning of this, we make our own picks during the day and we don't tell each other our picks. And it's all kind of a surprise to us as we're recording this. So that is kind of funny that we're only 1 point off there. Okay, the Arizona Cardinals, who I think I talked up the Cardinals enough last week, so I don't need to do it anymore. But I will just say, stop sleeping on Arizona. They could easily win the West. Well, not easily, but they could definitely compete with Seattle. So stop sleeping on Arizona. I just want to put that out there now. They win this game 35-20 over the Lions. The Lions are just they're like, I don't even know how to explain it. They have an okay team. Like, it's nothing spectacular. They shouldn't be a contender. But I feel like they're underperforming for themselves, too. I felt like the Lions would be a little better this year. They're just not.
This is another one where we're actually close again. Back-to-back picks. We both got Detroit scoring 20 points, but I got Arizona winning 30-20 instead of 35-20 like you. Yeah, Detroit, I'll admit, I was high on Detroit. I thought they would be better than this. I don't know what to say about Detroit anymore. They're just, they have a team. They have talent, but I don't know what's going on in Detroit personally.
Okay, so the Falcons' first and second losses of the season both play each other in Week 3, and there's really no point in me bringing this up other than to spite Ben a little bit. But the Seattle Seahawks do play the Dallas Cowboys in their Week 3 matchup. Now, Dallas plays to their opponent's level. Now, if they play the New York Jets or the Giants or somebody like that, that means they play crappy, just like the Jets or the Giants, where it ends up being like a low-scoring game or a close game. When they play good teams like Seattle or Green Bay, they perform. They show up. So I do think this is going to be a very close game. I think Dallas is going to fight Seattle with everything that they have and still lose. I do think the Seattle Seahawks go on to win this game 32-31 over the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, a 1-point victory because Dallas plays to the level of their opponents. Now, they normally lose, but they play to the level of their opponents. So I'm going to give Dallas the slight under here. They're going to end up losing this game, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and saying that they're at least going to compete with Seattle for pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, see, then there's me, and this is just me going to be completely salty. Seattle, I knew we were going to lose to. I knew Atlanta was going to lose to them Week 1. I wasn't even surprised by that. Dallas, well, we're not going to talk about that. But I have Seattle winning in a blowout, 42-20. The Dallas's defense is very suspect. They still, they won 40-39, but they still give up 39 points to Matt Ryan in that offense. You don't think Seattle's going to abuse that as well and put up even almost more points? I'm surprised.
To be fair, Atlanta does have a high-powered offense.
And I do think Seattle has a very good offense as well. And, obviously Russell Wilson is better than Matt Ryan. So I think just quarterback-wise, it's going to be hard to contain, especially because Russell Wilson is a mobile quarterback. He's a dual-threat quarterback. So I still got Seattle winning in a very, not even a close game, honestly. It might be close for a quarter, maybe two, but I do think Seattle pulls away far ahead, 42-20.
The Sunday night football game, the Green Bay Packers going up against the New Orleans Saints. Now, New Orleans underperformed last week. The problem I have with the Saints is Drew Brees is getting... I think everybody needs to relax a little on Drew Brees. I do think he's going to come back and play very well this week, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in my 2-point conversion. Spoiler alert. But regardless of what I'm going to predict Drew Brees is going to do in this game, I do think Green Bay ends up winning this one just because... I really don't even have a reason. This is one of those games that this can go either way. Regardless, I'm going to pick the Packers. I do think the Packers are going to be a good team this year, one of the top teams in the NFC. So I'll give them the edge here, 35-28, just a 1-touchdown game. But this is such a hard game to predict because, Green Bay is playing about at Green Bay level, and I feel like we just haven't seen the max potential out of the Saints yet, and it could very well happen this week.
So I think this is now 3 picks that were pretty close, and 3 picks that we have the opponent losing with the same amount of points. I also got Green Bay winning this one. I think Green Bay is better than New Orleans, but it's not by much. I think both their defenses are very closely rated. I think both their offense are closely rated. And I think if you look at the quarterbacks, it's hard to pick who would you rather have between Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees. Because I don't think you lose either way, whichever quarterback you would want between them. So I do have Green Bay winning this one 32-28 in a very close game. I think it's going to be back and forth, with no real winner until the very last minute. And I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to prove that he is better than Drew Brees, but again, both are Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So I don't think I don't think Drew Brees is going to have a bad game. I think he had a bad game last week, but I don't think he's going to have a bad game this week.
Okay, now the most interesting game of the week happens to be on Monday night. It is the Kansas City Chiefs going against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, if there's any game you want to watch this week, this better be it. I mean,
100%.
These are, take AFC and NFC out of it, these are probably the two best teams in the league. That being said, I do want to make a prediction that this is not the last time that these two teams play this season. I think they meet again in the AFC Championship game. And I think whoever wins this game won't win the AFC Championship game. Which is why I am picking the Baltimore Ravens to win this one, 38-35 over the Kansas City Chiefs, because I do think that these two will split this season, but the Chiefs will win the important one in the AFC Championship in January or whenever it's scheduled for.
I'm with you. I do think Baltimore's going to score 38 points, but I also think Kansas City is it's very close, team-wise. Both teams are great, have great teams. Both have star quarterbacks, but there's one thing, actually technically a few things that KC has over the Ravens, and that's the amount of offensive weapons Patrick Mahomes can throw to. He's got Tyreek Hill. He's got Travis Kelce. He's got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a rookie running back who's already at least 2 weeks in showing that he's a very good young running back. Solid offensive line. I think Sammy Watkins got hurt, but Sammy Watkins is a great receiver if he's in. So I got Kansas City winning this one 42-38 over Baltimore. I do think that they are going to be in the postseason. I definitely think they're going to be in the postseason. It's going to be a great, great matchup. But I guess to segue now to the 2-point conversions, I have this. It's a shootout. It's going to be a great shootout. And I have Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. Both are dual threat quarterbacks. Both amazing quarterbacks. They will combine, passing and rushing, they will combine for 500-plus yards and 6 total touchdowns. So between Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, they will combine for over 500 yards and 6 touchdowns in this game. It's going to be electric on Monday Night Football.
I respect that 2-point conversion a lot. That's a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns between two people. But for my 2-point conversion, look, there's a lot of people that are a lot lower on Drew Brees just because of his first 2 weeks and the fact that he's 41 years old, which I get. Quarterbacks slow down a little bit as they get older. Even Tom Brady's done it too. But you got to pump the brakes a little bit. I do think Drew Brees throws for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns this week against the Packers. I know I predicted them to lose, and I stand by that. I do think the Packers will end up winning this game. But you gotta you gotta relax a little on Drew Brees. He's still Drew Brees. He's still gonna get the job done. And I do think that the line for excellence for a quarterback is at 300 yards. You throw for less than 300 yards, you had a good game. But over 300 yards, people start to say you had a great game or a really good game or something like that. So I do think Drew Brees comes back this week, a really good game. 300 yards, we'll give him 2 touchdowns, but this is the week that Drew Brees comes back. He's like, look, I'm 41 years old, but I can still play in this league. Again, the score currently is 23-20, me over Ben at the moment, but we are just now in week 3. Week 3 hasn't even happened yet. So there are lots and lots of points to be earned as this season goes on. But remember, stay tuned all season for that Super Bowl episode where you will be watching either me or Ben absolutely want to kill ourselves after eating a ghost pepper or something with the sauce. We haven't really figured out the details yet, but just know one of us is eating something extremely spicy at the end of the year. So
I completely regret this decision sometimes.
stay tuned, guys.
Not really, because at the end of the day, if I do beat you, it's going to be so sweet seeing you do that. But I also know that if you beat me, you feel the same exact way.
So stay tuned, guys. I know my weekly picks are one of my more popular segments on my channel, so I really appreciate you guys coming in and listening to what me and Ben have to say, because frankly, like, neither of us are qualified to be talking about this at all. But take our picks with a grain of salt, and drop your picks in the comments below. But smash that like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ben, anything you want to say to the fans before we head out?
Atlanta special team coach needs to be fired and thrown off a cliff.
Thank you very much. Have a great one, guys. Peace.